Hello and welcome back to another episode of All About Gaming. Remember, you can listen on Amazon Music, on lots of places actually, iTunes and Google Podcasts and other podcast services too. Not Spotify yet, unfortunately, but that's coming. So look out for that or listen out for it, whichever one. Okay, so pretty quiet today. A few bits of gaming news to talk about, but other than that, well, it's still a pretty boring few months, but then that's gaming for you at the start of the year, doesn't it? Anyway, never mind that. Let's just talk about what there is to talk about, okay? So first up, we've got the gaming news. So I've got it all here. And the first bit of news that I've got is that Sony is to stop selling movies and TV shows on the PlayStation Store. Now this makes complete sense, doesn't it? Does anyone actually buy movies and TV shows anymore? I don't know. I know I don't. I just subscribe to everything. Netflix, Amazon, what else? Apple TV with Star. You've also got, I'm sure there's something else. Oh no, it's Disney. Disney that's got Star and Apple TV. There's so many and there's more to come. There's Now TV as well, of course. But there's more to come, I think, as well. So it's crazy the amount of stuff there is to subscribe to. And the annoying thing about it is, right, is that if there's a show you really like, it might be on one or the other. I guess it's kind of okay the way it works is because you can subscribe to one month and then cancel it and subscribe to another one. But it kind of makes me worry about gaming in that respect as well. What if that happens with gaming? I mean, it's kind of already happening. We've got Xbox Game Pass, we've got PlayStation Plus, we've got Ubisoft Play, we've got EA Play. I mean, if the other publishers start bringing these things out and you can sort of subscribe to play the new games, for instance, which you can't really do on console yet, apart from on Xbox Game Pass, but you can on PC, for instance, pay a bit of a premium to play new EA games and new Ubisoft games. So when this comes to console, all of a sudden, you'll have all these options to play your favourite games and you just pay a subscription fee instead of buying the games. Probably would still work out cheaper, but I guess the good thing about it, like I say, is you can buy it for 1 or 2 months, buy your game, and then just cancel it. Because I mean, no games come out in January to July, kind of August. It all starts to kick off again, doesn't it? So I guess you could just buy the game you want for that part of the year, and then subscribe to play all the mega games that all come out at once in the second part of the year. But yeah, so there we go. They're stopping selling them. That's not a surprise. Okay, our bit of news is that 44 combined BAFTA game nominations have been announced for Sony Studios, which is pretty impressive, 13 of which are The Last of Us Part 2. So well done to them. Let's see how many awards they get. I don't pay too much attention to awards personally, but it's still good that they're getting recognition, I guess, so that's good. The PlayStation Plus games are out now. Now, in last week's episode, I think we just missed the announcement, because I think it happened just after the episode. So the games coming out are Final Fantasy Remake for PS4, Farpoint, which I believe is a PSVR game, Marquette, which is a PS5 game, a new PS5 game by the way, and Remnant from the Ashes, which is also a PS4 game, but I imagine you can play all these in PlayStation 5 as well. Now, I think with Final Fantasy the 7 Remake, you don't get the upgrade for PlayStation 5, which is out in June, I think. So you don't get that. And I think if you redeem the PlayStation Plus version of Final Fantasy 7 Remake, it makes you ineligible to upgrade to the PlayStation 5 version, even if you own the game. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's just kind of what it sort of sounded like. So if you do already own PlayStation Final Fantasy 7 Remake on PlayStation 4, then don't bother redeeming the PlayStation Plus version for now until at least you get the free upgrade, and then maybe you can do it. You can also grab Ratchet & Clank right now on the PlayStation Store as well. That's the Days at Home, Play at Home, something initiative. That's free on PlayStation 4, so go grab that as well. EA has delayed Need for Speed so that Criterion can help out with Battlefield. Oh dear. What must Codemasters think of all this? Codemasters must be sitting there thinking, oh God, we're going to be helping out designing bloody Ultimate Team cards or something. Oh, we've got to delay Dirt 6 because you've got to put the gold borders around Ronaldo in FIFA Ultimate Team, I'm afraid. Oh, while you're at it, let's just put some racing stripes on, don't know, some strip somewhere, and then you can release your game eventually, maybe as a sort of free-to-play mobile game. Yeah, exactly. I hate to think what EA is going to do at Codemasters. Could be wrong. Maybe they'll just leave them alone to get on with it. But will they? We'll see, shall we? Horizon is still scheduled for 2021, so that's good news. Sony's Jim Ryan, I think, said that it's still on track, which is surprising, but these things can change. Just because it's on track doesn't mean it's coming out. Thankfully, Ratchet & Clank, the new game for PlayStation 5, is coming out. Returnal is also coming out this year. Kena is coming out in August. And so, at least we're getting some games for PlayStation 5. I know probably most of them are probably coming to PlayStation 4 as well, but hey, we can't have everything. Speaking of delays and all that, Elden Ring production has been severely impacted by remote working, so it's not looking likely that it will be coming out this year. There was this big hoo-ha about there'd be a new trailer at some Microsoft event, but Aaron Greenberg, who works for Microsoft, has totally denied that and said, no, I'm afraid that's not happening, so you can dream on there. So there we go. So it was a load of rubbish. Sony said that an internal storage and sort of cooling firmware upgrade is coming later on in the year. This is what this is going to do, or at least it's a rumour anyway, but what this is going to do is allow for you to buy the internal SSD and sort of install it into your machine, but also they're going to upgrade the cooling because these fans run quite hot, so I think what they're going to do is release a firmware update that makes the cooling go a bit faster so that it'll keep the new internal hard drive cool, so that's good to know. Installing the hard drive's easy, I'd imagine. I mean, I'm not really worried about it. I don't need it at the moment, but it's an easy thing to do, so if it is something you want to do, then it will be a problem. But if you're really worried about it, I guess you could always just use an external hard drive, put your PS4 games in that, and just keep your internal drive for PlayStation 5 games. E3 2021, the digital sort of expo they were going to do because people can't go there has been cancelled, so that's not happening. So I don't know if that's because there's no games to announce because they've all been delayed. I don't know what that's all about, but it's been cancelled anyway. It's not happening. And finally, also, we've got Xbox mentioning that they are going to be testing 1080p streaming for their Project X Cloud so that you can stream in 1080p. I know that sounds a bit old school now, doesn't it, 1080p, but they're testing it out anyway and it's happening, so there you go. I said finally, but we've still got the gaming charts. Now, Sony said last week that they'd released a whole bunch of PlayStation 5 stock into the UK, and it seems to have impacted on the charts because although Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury is still number 1, Spider-Man Miles Morales has actually jumped up to number 2, and last week that was number 9, so it's actually sort of got a little bit of a boost thanks to the PlayStation 5 stock. Also, The Last of Us Part 2 is number 3, which is quite good. FIFA 21 has jumped up as well to, dropped down to number 4, it was number 2. Persona 5 Strikers is number 5, that's a new entry. Mario Kart 8 is number 6. Animal Crossing, number 7. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is number 8. Grand Theft Auto 5 is still bloody in the charts. It's been in the charts ever since it launched, and that's number 9. And Minecraft for Switch is number 10. So there we go. That's a lot of gaming news. And I swear there was one more thing I wanted to talk about. Right, I know what I want to talk about. That's gaming news. Right, one thing I noticed when I was just sort of scanning through things is that Kena, which is a game I'm now looking forward to, is only $32.99. Now, I don't know if you've seen the trailer or not, but I think it looks absolutely fantastic. It's a lovely looking game, and it really surprised me it was $32.99 because it actually looks like a AAA game when you watch the presentation stuff. It's got all sort of CGI. It looks a bit like a kind of like a animated movie, I guess. So the fact that it's only $32.99 surprised me. And I tweeted about this, that it was $32.99, and a lot of people sort of thought I was taking offence to it or something, thinking, no, it's $32.99, it must be rubbish. I think what I said was, it's $32.99, maybe it's not a very big game, but that's not really a bad thing for me, to be honest. As long as it's a good game, as long as the story's good, the gameplay's strong, and it sort of leaves an impact on you, then I couldn't care if it's 4 hours long. Do you know what I mean? That's the type. That's all I care about when it comes to gaming. I want a game that leaves an impact on me. If you go see a movie and you pay 20 quid and you pay the popcorn and all that, and it's a rubbish movie, you walk out thinking, oh. But if you pay quite a lot of money to see it and you come out, you feel great about it. You don't mind that you've just spent 20 quid to go and see it. Do you know what I mean? So it's the same with a game for me. If I play a game that has an impact, it's only 4 hours long, as long as it was 4 hours well spent, then I don't care that I'm paying 60 quid for it if it's worth it. 'Cause chances are I'll play it again anyway if I really liked it that much. So yeah, that doesn't bore me, the price really. I'm just hoping that the $32.99, which is a brilliant thing, there's $32.99, obviously it saves us money because it's better than it being full price, but I just hope it doesn't mean that it's going to be rubbish. But price doesn't necessarily indicate the quality of the game. I don't suppose. It could be that they're just looking to get their name out there and that they're just trying to make sure that they can compete and that people will want to buy the game because it's from a developer they've never heard of before. So let's just hope that the price doesn't indicate the quality and that it's really good, because that would be excellent. I'd love that. Okay, so another thing I want to talk about, I know I've probably talked about this a million times, but as we've seen a minute ago in the gaming news, Elden Ring's been delayed because of remote working, and I know I've said this lots of times that I think we're going to see this quite a lot this year. A lot of games are going to be delayed by remote working. That's just a fact. Will Horizon come out? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure the likes of God of War won't be coming out. We already know Gran Turismo 7 isn't coming out because of delays to remote working. So it's going to happen a lot. There's no doubt about it. We haven't heard from Xbox yet or their plans and their games. I think Halo was just about done anyway when so that'll probably still come out. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with Xbox's other games, won't it? That is going to be very interesting indeed. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there quick, even though I've mentioned it quite a few times before. Right, I've not been playing anything again, sadly. I'm trying my best to try and get inspired for a game to play, but for some reason, every time I think, oh yeah, I'll play this, I never get round to it. I don't know if it's just because we've been busy doing other stuff, do you know what I mean? You know what life's like, you think, oh, right, I'll finally got time to do this, and you sit down and you're just like, oh, I'm so tired. I'll just sit and watch a rubbish TV show or something. I almost played FIFA at the weekend. I had it in my mind. I'm going, oh, I'm going to play FIFA because I was really up for it. I was like, yeah. But I think I ended up washing the car instead or something. So this week I'm going to try and make an effort to play something, even if it's the PlayStation Plus games or something. I'm going to try my best to hopefully get some time and play something so I can just talk about it next week. Because I really want to play something. Just nothing's really grabbing me. For some reason, just as I was recording this podcast and talking about the BAFTA nominations, I was thinking, oh man, I'd quite like to play Last of Us 2 again. But I'm not sure if I would or not. I'm still thinking Uncharted. I don't know. Maybe I'll just need to have a flick through the PlayStation. Maybe I'll check out this new PlayStation game that we're getting with PlayStation Plus, see what that's all about. Because that might be quite interesting. Or maybe I'll check out Final Fantasy VII Remake, because I've not actually played that yet. And it kind of looks okay. I know it's a PlayStation 4 version, but still, maybe it'll be okay. I don't know. I've never really been a big fan of Final Fantasy, to be honest. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. That's the episode. Hopefully, there's going to be longer episodes in the future, because obviously there'll be a lot more to talk about. But at the moment, it's pretty quiet. But still, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.